great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion. Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 762 of the Immigration Answers Show. How is everybody doing? Today is Thursday, February 13th. I'll be here for the next hour trying to answer all of your immigration law-related questions. What's going on with all of you? I just went outside to make a TikTok, and the sun is out. Yesterday it was snowing. The sun is out, but it's damn cold. And for those of you who don't know, I'm wearing shorts. I'm not wearing a suit or anything. I'm in my lawyer TV show costume. So it was a little cold for me to be out there. And in my TikTok, it just said simply, list your kids. List your kids, list your kids, list your kids. There's really no downside to listing too many kids unless they're not yours. But you'd be amazed at how many people mess up their immigration system by not listing their kids. Always list your kids. I'm getting on a plane to go to California today, and I'm looking for ideas on movies to watch. If you guys get any ideas for me to download a movie on my iPad before I go, I'd appreciate it. I know it's cold and wet in Los Angeles. It better stop being cold. I always wear shorts, Donna. I'm always wearing shorts. People think I'm nuts. It's like 25 degrees here. I'm wearing shorts. Big ups to all the Yardies. This is the 13th of February, as I mentioned, episode 762. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Bella, I'm going to start with you.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. Thank you. Thank you for accepting my invitation. Okay, I'm kind of nervous right now, but thank you. Okay, I'm going to go. I'm the U.S. citizen. My husband, he came to U.S. on tourist visa. Meantime, we got married, and we start very wrong from the beginning. Somebody teach us to send the I-130 form, separate the I-485 form.
Yep.
Yeah, and he got detained by the community where we live. Then he got released. I bailed him out. Now,
wait, why did he get detained?
Because he said he's the overstay. But we applied for the 1I-30 when he was on his status, and his tourist visa status.
Oh, wow.
And we applied 2 years ago. We applied for 1I-30 2 years ago. Then we got attorney, and he filled up all the paperwork attached to it and all the supplement papers. I'm very nervous right now. I barely talk.
You're fine, sweetheart. No reason to be nervous. I'm just chilling. It's just us friends.
Yeah.
Don't be nervous. Just tell your story. Okay, so when did you file for the 485?
April. We got married in March. We actually, it was very fast. We met in January. By March, we got married. I'm even older than him with 11 years. That's, I don't know if it's.
What was 11 years? What was that?
I'm older than him 11 years too.
Okay, so let's back up. So, were you born in the United States?
No, I'm European.
And
Listen.
how did you get your green card?
Through K1 visa, 21 many years ago. Over 20 years ago. Through marriage to a U.S. citizen.
So this is not your first time through the immigration process. Last time you were the beneficiary. Now you're the.
Correct.
Yep. Okay.
Actually, I got my citizenship. To 5 years by myself. So not through marriage. So let's.
Yeah, that's okay. You still got at the end of the day, you still got your immigration status through marriage.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So this guy, when did he land in the United States, and when did you get married?
2022 December. He landed here for 6 months visa. Then we got married in March. Well, I didn't know about all this. We just did how we felt. I didn't know we have to wait. We have to do it. We just what we felt. We did it.
Okay, so before December of what year did you say? 22?
22 December, he arrived to United States. By
Had you
March,
ever had you ever met him before, spoken to him
no,
before, chatted
no,
with him?
no,
So
no.
you didn't know him until he was in the United States.
Correct.
Okay, and then he comes in December. When did you meet?
In January,
Okay, and then and how did you meet?
online.
And then when did you meet face to face?
Right away from online, we met face to face. Since then, we've been together. And
Hold
because
on, hold
he's
on, hold on. I need you to just stick to my questions, okay?
okay.
When you met online, were you living in the same city or different cities?
No, we live in Nevada, both of us.
In the same city?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I couldn't hear you. The audio got garbled. Okay. So then when did you file the I-130 petition?
After marriage, I think in March, in the end of the March or something like that, or April or beginning of April.
Oh, why were you guys in such a hurry?
I don't know. I didn't know anything about immigration rules.
Well,
All
that's not
this.
true. That's not true. You went through the immigration process.
Oh, that's so long. I don't remember anything about
No,
it.
but sweetheart, if you say something like that to an immigration officer, I don't know how immigration works. They're gonna come after you for. They're gonna say, well, what are you talking about? You got your green card. They're not gonna believe you if you start saying stuff like that. So you have to be careful with what you say. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. So he should have left like in May of 2023, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so then when does ICE come looking for him?
He came like 3 months, 4 months ago, 2024, October, November, something.
So
Okay.
in all that time, you never filed the 45, only the I-130.
Yes, we filed because we got the lawyer. Meantime, we got the lawyer, and he did all the paperwork. That's in
But that was after he
2023.
got caught, right?
No. That's no. We got the lawyer in 2023. He applied for all the papers together. He did all the process, and no.
So I've got an I-130 filed in March of 23. I got a 485 filed sometime later in.
A few months later, like by May, something like that. Yeah, 2023. We have all the papers sent to the USCIS.
Has the
By
I has the I-130 been approved?
no.
Okay. And so that's really weird that they would come get him if he had a 485 on file. I mean, now they'll do it, but back then that was really strange. What country is he from?
Oh, that's what I want to mention right now. He's from Iran. That's a, and on these papers they say, oh, you're overstay, and they check him. He for 3 weeks when he was detained, they check his background, DNA test, all procedures back and forth. It was like wow, and he came out clean. He's out, and now we are waiting to see what's next. I'm confused. Like I'm gonna be approved with I-130. Or is gonna have a chance to get the green card one day, or what is the chances in here?
Well, so did your lawyer help him get out of the immigration
Yeah.
detention? What
Yes.
he did. Okay.
Oh, I forgot. Also, he applied for, because he didn't receive. We didn't get the I-130. Attorney, he said, let's apply for a refugee status. But NCAT as a convention against torture, because if they're gonna send him back to Iran, they're gonna be tortured and killed. Oh, I forgot also to mention, his religion from Muslim, he changed to Christian 2 years ago too.
When?
2 years ago.
When he arrived in
Yeah, like
America.
few months later. Yeah, he got with the Iranian church here. He got comfortable. He liked them, so he changed his
That
religion.
sounds like somebody trying to make an immigration case to me. That doesn't sound that I would not have done that. That's not helpful. It sounds like he's doing everything he can to stay in the United States.
But he never failed. I mean, he never followed his religion. Just because he come from Islamic State doesn't mean he follow his religion. He doesn't feel like
Does
he's
he,
Muslim at all.
does he have a court date for the deportation?
2026 September.
Okay, so what's your question for me?
Is any chance he's gonna get approved for I-130 and get a green card through marriage, or? What is his chances right now?
Well, has your attorney done anything to try to end the deportation proceedings, like to file a motion to terminate?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But my husband is not happy with him because the communication between us and the attorney is not so good. So he's thinking to
Well,
change the attorney also.
did the attorney file a motion to terminate the proceeding?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and that wasn't approved or denied. It's just pending, right?
Correct.
Okay. So the I-130 has been pending almost 2 years, right?
Yes.
So I would probably sue to try to get the I-130 approved, and once the I-130 is approved, that's going to put him in a better status. But I mean, it sounds like a thin case. A guy comes from me. Are you from Iran?
No, I'm from Romania.
So so here's what I got. I got a guy who comes to the United States from Iran in December. What was the purpose of his visit when he came in December of?
He was visiting his sister. His
Did
second
he,
time came to US 2015 and 2022. He visiting
did,
his sister.
did he do that? Did he actually go and see her?
Oh yeah. They live together. Yeah, they live together. That's where I met him.
Okay.
Oh,
So I got a guy who enters the United States in December of 22, meets somebody in January of 22, gets married right away as fast as he can to somebody who's 11 years older from him, who's not from the same religious or cultural background, who U.S. ICE comes out. I mean, it's very, 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 very unusual
yes.
for them to put him in removal. They don't want him here.
Yes.
It's very, very unusual. So I think the chances of all this working are very, very small.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Oh, wow.
And and
Yeah,
and conversion cases that happen once the person arrives in the United States, those are really hard to win.
I see. The attorney he's saying maybe he's not gonna get approved by for the refugees, but he applied for CAT, like I said, for the Convention Against Torture. So
But I
he
mean,
thinks he's gonna win in that case. Mm,
okay. Well, good luck, Bella. I don't think any of this is going to work. I think it's a real long shot. I think that he's appearing very desperate to get married so fast to file for. I mean, yeah, he didn't even apply for asylum within a year of arrival. I just think that this is to me very desperate and probably not going to work.
I understand. Okay, thank you so much for your help.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Yep, for sure. All right, all right. This is the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking, and we're going to talk to Bright. Hello, Bright. Bright, hello, are you there? We can't hear you, Bright. We will come back. Let's go over to no, that's not what I want to do. What am I doing? All right, here we go. Let's go to Mickey Mouse. Hello, Mickey Mouse.
Hi, how are you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
Good. I have a question. My wife and I are petitioning for her green card while living abroad, and we've been documentarily qualified with the NVC for about 6 weeks now. Um, we're expecting it to take another year or so to get an appointment at the embassy, but we're living in a third country, and we wanted to go back during Ramadan to visit my family. And I was wondering, would they allow her to enter on her B1 visa? And yeah, basically that.
She already has the visa.
Yep, she's had it for about 7 or 8 years.
I would say that it's probably likely to let her in. There's no guarantee, but if she already has the visa, and she's always used it and followed the rules, I think the only thing is you're going to have to explain why, like at the border, you're going to have to be able to explain why she's going to leave on time and why she's not going to file for adjustment because she's got this pending I-130.
Yeah, I mean, my our explanation to that, I mean, my son's in our son's in school here. I'm still employed through at least the end of this year abroad. So, we're traveling as a family. I thought,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was a little bit nervous about it, but,
I'd be
you
nervous, and
know,
you'll be nervous all the way through. I think it's a good chance they let her in, but I also think I'd bring documentation of all those things: your son being in school, you still having a contract in the other country. I think you might have to sort of prove it up right there at the border, and I think there's a 10% chance they don't let her in.
okay, that's fair. And then what potential negative consequences to the case would happen if they wouldn't let her in?
Not for that. Really, the potential for problems is if they let her in and they think she lied, right? That's the bigger problem. So that's why you got to be completely transparent. You need to take good notes of everything that happened in the interaction. You need to make sure she doesn't say anything that isn't, oh no, I don't have an I-130 pending, nothing like that. Um, so you just got to be completely honest, and of course that raises the chances of them maybe not letting her in up to 10%, right? I think most likely they're going to let her in, no problem, but you never
Yeah,
know which officer you get on which day.
yeah. I mean, we're really just going to visit my parents, and it's kind of a good time to take holidays. And
Sure.
then so if they just say they just didn't let her in, we had to fly back to the UAE, then it would have no impact on the case. We would just basically say, when we went to when she went to the embassy and they asked her, "Have you ever been denied?" She would just say, "Yes, I was denied in March of 2025." And
Right.
because and then it wouldn't have we wouldn't have to file for a waiver or anything, would we?
No, no. Again, as long as she didn't say anything that wasn't true. But no, she wouldn't need a waiver for that.
No, 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 we wouldn't do that. Okay, great. Thank you.
Good luck, brother.
Thank you. Bye.
See ya. All right, let's try Bright one more time. Bright, are you there? All right. Bright's got some audio problems. Let's go to Kalyani. Nope, Kalyani's gone too. Oh, we're clearing out some spaces in the waiting room. Montana Soldier, hello.
Hey Jim, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Pretty good. I called in a couple weeks ago about my girlfriend. I don't know if you remember, she's a parolee. And since then, Trump closed down those programs, and I keep seeing articles coming out where he might remove their status at any time.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you might have seen that stuff too. Um, we're wondering if it wouldn't be a terrible idea for her to try and seek asylum, just like in the meantime, to start the process to make sure that she's not out of status until we get married. Is that a terrible idea?
Well, what's the whole? I'd much rather you focus on getting married and filing a marriage-based case than I would on filing an asylum case, especially if there's no real basis for asylum. What's the
Okay.
holdup? What's the holdup on the marriage?
There's not a huge holdup. The only thing that like causes me reservation is I got divorced like a year and a half ago, and I was awarded the house, but I have to get my ex's name off the house, which we've just submitted the paper, or I've just submitted the paperwork recently. So I just feel, I just don't know that really looks good with the paperwork if like I get married before my ex-wife's name is even officially off the house, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's more of a personal thing, but no,
That's
I've
a
already
very
ordered the ring on the
a
way.
very minor. It's a very minor thing compared to the peril she's in right now because of Trump. When did she enter the United States?
So March 6th is 1 year.
So she's been here less than 2 years, which means she's subject to expedited removal. So that means that she
Okay.
doesn't get to.
Oh, she's like, if her parolee status gets removed, she's like, I'm going home, and we can try and like get married and file for the green card process while I'm in Nicaragua. She's like, if my parolee status is removed, I'm going home.
Okay, why is she saying that?
Because the only reason that she's like gonna stay here is because of me. Like she was gonna do her 2 years, and go home. She still has 2 daughters back home. And so the reason that she's in the United States is because she loves me, not because she necessarily wants to be in the United States.
You're saying lots of things that I don't like. The first thing you said that I don't like is she's like, oh, I'll just go back home if my parole is revoked. And to me, but at the same time, you're saying she's thinking of applying for asylum. Asylum is for people who are scared shitless about going back home. So the idea that she's even considering going back home if her parole is revoked tells me there's no way, shape, or form that she should ever apply for asylum, because that's called a frivolous asylum claim, and that'll keep her from getting any immigration benefit for the rest of her life. That's the first thing I don't like that you're saying. The second thing I don't like you're saying is that she's
all right, I understand.
I mean, it sounds like you guys need to figure out your relationship stuff. If she leaves the United States and you guys consular process, it's going to be 4 years till she comes back. So I don't know why anybody would be so nonchalant about the fact that she's been given this huge gift of actually being physically present in the United States. And to me, that would make me want to move. If I want to be together because we're in love and I don't want to be separated from each other, I would be getting married and I would be filing, and I wouldn't be talking about even going back. It sounds like nobody's really fighting for this relationship other than me. It seems sort of weird the way things are being framed in this conversation. Does that make sense?
Okay, I understand, Jim. It's kind of a weird way she looks. She really like hate of like her people really personally, and I'm trying to like get her to like bigger issue here and stuff is, so if she gets her parolee status removed, like say Trump just signs an executive order and does that, like how would that actually work? Is she supposed to, like, is it a long process? Does she lose her like her work permit? Does that like get revoked and all that?
Well, I don't think that's what they're going to do. What I think they're going to do is they're just going to start getting the list of people that were paroled in and start putting them on planes and sending them back. That's what I think they're going to do. So the way to stop that is to get your case on file and have her be the spouse of a U.S. citizen with a pending I-130 petition. They could technically still do that, but I think it becomes much less likely.
Okay. All right, Jim, I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. All right, everybody. I don't know. Was that my audio? I was only hearing like every fifth word he was saying towards the end there. Was that for me only, or you guys too? I got the gist of it, but let's go to need help. Hello. Hello, need help. I'm here to help you. Need help. Hello. Out of here. All right. If you guys aren't ready when I call you, I'm kicking you out because there's a bunch of people waiting. Sunny Day is here. Hello.
Hi, Jim. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I just have quick question. Has there been any changes on file yet for like if you have a I-130 and a I-485 pending? Has Trump changed anything in regards to that as yet?
Not that I know of.
Okay. And my next question is, I got married like before I came to the US in 2021, like a couple of days before I came to the US. That's after I got my visa. And then when I came over here, the marriage fell apart. And then afterwards, about a year or two after, I married to a US citizen. Does the fact that I was married in Jamaica affect my case?
Sure. Every marriage sort of impacts the overall case. That was just a marriage between you and someone else back in Jamaica, though, and
Yes. But
so
go ahead.
the way it affects things here is, were you married at the time you got your visit visa?
It wasn't a visit visa. It was a H-2B, and I got the visa after I got married. Before I got married.
So you were a single person when you got your H-2B.
Yes.
Okay, and then you got divorced after you came to the United States.
Yes.
On your H-2B.
Yes.
And did you get when you got divorced? Were you divorced by a Jamaican court or a U.S. court?
U.S. court.
Okay, no, I'm good. We're good.
Okay, so there's nothing to worry about in that aspect.
Well, there's always something to worry about, but that doesn't worry me. No.
Okay. And are all cases required to do an interview right now? Because I submitted my.
Not yet.
Oh,
They said
that's
they're
good.
going to. As far as I know, they haven't adopted that rule yet.
Okay, that's good because I submitted my case in September and I got an RFE in September and I for the medical and I submitted the medical and so I got the receipt notice on October 28th and I haven't heard anything since.
So people spend a lot of time asking me about, rule changes. What are rule changes? Will they go backwards or forwards? And interviews is one that I think would be one that they could say, okay, from now on, even if you filed under Biden, we're still doing interviews for everybody. So that's one I think they could still change.
Okay.
Thanks,
Okay
Sonny.
then. All right. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Donna loves trying to figure out who the Yardies are. She cracks me up. Cracks me up. Big ups to all the Yardies. YV is back. Hello, YV.
Hey, Jim. Thanks for taking the time again. Couple quick questions. Yesterday we spoke about how my fiance entered in on February 1st of this year, and they stamped her 17-day, visa for where she has to return by February 18th.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that if she leaves and tries to come back, the likelihood is close to none on a tourist visa. So I did an intake form with you guys and was able to speak to one of the lawyers with you guys.
Okay.
And I haven't like signed anything. This is still just like wanted to ask you a question. The individual mentioned filing out a status, just like if she were to stay. How would that affect a marriage-based green card case in that sense? Let's say May 1st, once we file the I-130, would that out of status be forgiven? That's what the individual mentioned that I spoke to.
So that's a tricky subject. It all comes down to their subjective intent, whether the person had the intent when they came into the United States. But if someone was out of status for 2 or 3 months and applied for adjustment, the overstay would be forgiven. And that's because they're married to a U.S. citizen. So you can't ever plan for that, and it's risky. And who knows what ICE is going to do and what Trump's going to do, and are they going to start looking for people that they admitted for only 17 days? That's all a possibility. The possibility is the person could still end up in removal or expedited removal because they just arrived. But in answer to your question, if somebody is in the United States out of status for 2 months, 2 years, 2 decades, and they marry a U.S. citizen, that overstay is forgiven.
Okay. And then second part to that, what do you think about filing an I-539 to
Waste of time. Waste of time.
Would that not put her in status for that given that break-in period?
I think to me, I mean, in theory, yes. In theory, yes. I just think it makes the person look a whole lot sneakier, like they're trying to manipulate things and move things around.
Okay. And do you have any, I guess, suggestion as to what to do in this case? Like in terms of if she leaves, she has very little probability of being able to enter back in. She's currently here within the United States.
I think you're answering the question the way I would answer it. I think you're answering your own question.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Just okay, stay here then. I guess maybe.
I can only tell people to follow the law.
All right. Okay, that sounds good.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
See ya. All right. Bola is here. Hello, Bola. You're on mute.
Hello. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm very fine. Thanks for asking. So I went for an I-485 interview yesterday. Prior to that interview, I had the I-130 approved. For some reason, I was requested for an I-485 interview. And
Well,
I think,
why do you think?
yeah, I think that was because of my previous application. This is my second marriage. my previous application was denied, and I think there was some issues with that, and I was called for an interview yesterday.
All right. So now we're going to get into it. So tell me, when did you first come to the United States?
2015,
And what kind of a visa did you have?
B1, B2.
Okay. And did you leave before the 6 months were up?
No, I did not.
Did you marry a U.S. citizen before the 6 months were up?
I married a U.S. citizen after the 6 months were out.
After the 6 months were up.
Yes,
So you were out of status when you got married.
yes.
Okay. So what? Make up a fake name for that first spouse of yours. What was their fake name? Give me a fake name.
I would say Paula.
Ola.
Paula, yeah.
So I got Bola and Ola. So Bola marries Ola back in the day, out of status. And is Ola a U.S. citizen?
Yes,
Was Ola born in the United States?
yes.
Had Ola ever sponsored anyone for an immigration case before?
No,
Okay, so did Ola and Bola have an interview?
no, we did not.
What happened? What happened to that case? Did it get withdrawn?
No, because there was an issue with there was an issue with violence, so I had to leave the marriage.
Okay, so just to be clear, did Ola ever file an I-130 and did Bola ever file a 45 based on that first marriage?
No, it was I-360.
So okay, so the first thing that Bola ever filed after entering the United States, immigration-wise, was an I-360. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened to that case?
They requested for more evidence, and I was separated already, and I couldn't provide that. And there was a child in that marriage that was not mine, so I had to leave. So they denied it because I couldn't provide new evidence.
So you never responded to the RFE, or you responded, or you withdrew it, or what happened? I need to know like how that case actually ended.
Okay, I responded, but I responded with the same previous evidence because I didn't have no new one. And because of that,
What did they want?
they just wanted an updated, like you have like supporting documents, and they want an updated version of that.
And while your I-360 was on file, were you still living with Ola?
No, I was not.
Okay. And so they denied the I-360, or they let you withdraw it?
No, they denied it.
Okay. And right now, if they went and knocked on Ola's door, what would she say about you and your marriage and about the alleged violence?
Unfortunately, she's late. She passed a couple of months ago.
Oh, okay. All right. Have you first of all, when you filed give me a new name for your current spouse, a fake name for your current spouse.
So I would say her name is Anna.
Anna. Okay. And Anna's a U.S. citizen, you said, right? And Anna's never been through the immigration policy or procedure before, right?
Yes.
And they believe your marriage. They approve the I-130, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when did you bring an attorney with you to your green card interview?
The fourth initial one, yes, but the second one I did not.
You had two.
Yeah, this present case I had two. The first one, it was in 2023, right? And we were waiting. Then I had to file a writ of mandamus, and another one was killed.
Ah, did I do the writ of mandamus or somebody else?
No, somebody else.
Okay.
Actually, I would say the person that assisted me is a friend. So he got a lot of information from you, and he was able to share those information with me and with his support, and I was able to get that done.
Okay. So was the first interview you had, was that before the I-130 was approved or after?
No, it was after the writ of mandamus. That's when the I-130 was approved.
So you filed a writ, they interviewed you on the I-130, and then they approved the I-130.
They didn't interview us on the I-130. The I-130 was just approved.
So they've interviewed you twice on your green card application.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about the first interview and then tell me about the second interview.
The first interview was not much. It was just the officer asking and verifying the information we have on I-130 and I-140-85, just to be sure it corresponds or it correlates with what we're saying. And after that, it didn't ask much. He just said, we'll get back to you.
Okay, and then what about the second one?
The second one, I went with my wife, but the officer said, oh, she don't need to be here. She can wait for you in the lobby. It's I-485. All I need is you. So he started asking questions about how I relocated to different places. But when it got to how I met a friend, what I had in my previous affidavit for I-360 contradicts what I said. He asked to verify that, and I just had to make up something to patch it up. But I knew that was the bomber right there.
So what is different than what you said?
So it was about a friend that I met, and how I started staying with him. It was different the way I met him in my affidavit, and it was different from what I said yesterday.
Okay, so this is the friend that like supported you when you were sort of on your own filing the 360?
Yeah, it was a friend. No, before I even filed anything, it was just a friend that helped me, helped me with accommodation when I was like 3-4 months in the country.
So before you married the person that did violence on you?
Yes, before I ever even married, it was just a person that assisted me with accommodation.
Okay, so basically there's an affidavit that you signed in support of your I-360 that says, I met my friend Joe at the mall, and then yesterday at your interview you said I met Joe at a bar or a church
At a
or
coffee
something.
shop. Yeah, exactly.
Just that little thing?
I'm scared of immigration every time. You're a lawyer, you look little, but me, I was like, oh, shoot, I messed up.
Which is true? What you put in the affidavit or what you said yesterday?
No, the affidavit was a previous one, which was a previous I-360.
No, but which is true? The version you gave in the affidavit or the version you gave yesterday?
The version I gave yesterday was the true one.
Is it possible that they've already talked to this friend of yours?
I called him already immediately I got out of there and told him the story. I told him what to tell him.
What did he say?
He said, I'm ready.
He said what?
He said, I'm ready.
But they haven't gone to talk to him yet.
No, they haven't.
And just to be clear, do you have a copy of that affidavit that you submitted in support of your I-360 that they were asking about?
Yes, I have it.
And really, that's the only thing is like I met him at church instead of I met him at a restaurant. That it's like something that little.
Yeah, I told him it was years ago, and I told him I moved way too much, and I had too much addresses that I was moving around, and trying to put those pieces together, and I was just scared, like, you know what? And my friend said, "Don't worry about it, just keep your hopes alive."
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. If I were you, what I would do is I would do a Freedom of Information Act request for your entire file. I would have done that before you filed this case, because it would have been really nice for you to review that affidavit before you went to your interview. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, I did. The lawyer gave to me, but I didn't think that piece of information was where I would mess up. Every other thing it was asking from that affidavit, I got it right. Besides that one. I didn't know that I would miss that one.
Well, here's what I'll say. Number one, they're always suspicious of men who file VAWA claims. They're always suspicious of people that file an I-360 without there ever having been an I-130 on file before. What country are you from?
Nigeria.
They're always suspicious of men from Nigeria. So I would definitely today do a G639 online and say I want all my immigration paperwork and see what they send you.
Okay. You say G639?
G639. You can fill it out online. They'll send you your whole file. But just make sure I want all immigration paperwork.
Oh, is that a FOIA? I had that. I previously have that. I applied for that already.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck. Let us know how it goes, Bola.
All right, thank you.
Bye, buddy. All right. All right. Let's say hi to Simon. Hello, Simon.
Yes, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm so good. First of all, I want to thank you for everything you're doing, because giving your time sitting there for an hour helping people is not everybody has this kind of heart. So my prayer it is first of all, God to bless you a lot for everything you're doing, because I know a lot of people coming here they have problems and you helping them without even giving any pennies. So
That's
I'm
all good.
so happy.
We get some cases out of it, Simon, and I have fun. It's all good. It's a mutually beneficial situation, and I'm happy to help. And my goal is to help as many people get through the immigration process as possible. And I can't help everybody, and so if I can help some people avoid making dumb mistakes, I'm happy to do it. So, what can I help you with?
Great. Jim, I entered with a B2 visa in 2017 and I filed asylum. And on the 2022, I went to an interview and everything was good and I got my status. And then after a year, I filed the adjustment to status and I got my green card. So I'm working on the oil field because ever since I was back in the country, I worked in the oil field. So my question is, we have a contract overseas, so we have to travel to go work 28 days in Nigeria and 28 you back here in US. I have a travel documents, so I am scary if it's gonna be a problem for me going out and coming back here in US during this time.
So, you have a conditional green card or a 10-year green card?
It's a 10-year green card.
Yeah. So, you have a 10-year green card, and did you say you also have a reentry permit?
Yes, I applied a re-entry permit before I applied the adjustment status because I knew that I may travel. The company normally where I'm working, we normally go overseas doing service job. So I applied it before I got my green card, and they gave me a 1 year travel document. And then before I travel, my green card also came, and I was lucky. I went to Trinidad Tobacco for service job, and I was back again here in US. So right now I am in a process to go for a project we have in Nigeria. It's a 1 year project. A little bit scary for this situations going on. If I'll be having trouble getting back.
So no, I think you're going to be fine. You're well down the path to getting a citizenship. I think that you're the kind of person they're going to let back in. I'm not worried about it at all.
Okay. And the second question it is, this is for a friend of mine in church. So he has I-730 approved. And the question is, they it's supposed to wait 1 year before they can file adjustment status. So is there possible they can file it before 1 year or they have to wait 1 year?
It's again still breaking up a little bit, but I think what you're asking me is, can someone with a pending within a 730 apply early? Is that the question?
Yeah, the 730 was approved already. So I think they have to wait 1 year before they can apply a green card. So my
Correct.
question is, they can apply it before 1 year because they're almost like 7 months already.
Yeah. So the Biden team sort of switched that up a little bit. I would tell them to wait the full year and just go ahead and apply, because there's been a bunch of funny business with whether it's a year of physical presence or a year of having the 730. So I would just wait for the full year.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim. God bless you, and I wish you a good trip today.
Simon, I appreciate it. See you, buddy. Call back anytime.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to concise question. Hello.
Hi, good morning, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello. Yes, good morning. First, just want to thank you for your time. It's very highly appreciated.
Sure,
Uh,
sure.
I, w- I had I'm a previous client with yours. I had a RET. We sued UCIS for my citizenship. It was very successful. It was one of the difficult cases. I'm very happy. It was the best experience I had. I got my citizenship. I fought for my parents for green card, and then they were able to come here. Now, when they came to the U.S., I had my brother still in the country of origin, which is Lebanon. And when they came here in 2023, things were fine. Now,
Sure.
after they came here, few months, the war started in Gaza, and then it crept into Lebanon,
Yep.
and they couldn't leave him by himself. So, they decided to go back to Lebanon and be with him in February of 2024, and they couldn't come back. Now things has ended over there, but they're still trying to get their life together. Trying to fix their house, and just the problem is, it's been a year since they have been outside the U.S. because of that.
Why didn't they get a reentry permit? Why did they leave for a year? That was crazy.
What happened is, as I said, so because of the war happened, and they had a son still there by himself,
How
and we
old is the
tried
son?
to. He's like, at the time he was about, I think, 18 or 19. So he was completely
But
by himself.
why did you go through all that hassle to get him a green card and then they just sort of threw it in the trash?
Yeah, and this is what I'm asking is, first of all, when they're supposed to come back before, so they went and they did some arrangements for him to be with family and be taken care of. Now, in that time, since in this year they got tickets 3 times to come back, but then the airlines, it's 3 different airlines would cancel, and they kept extending like no flight over Lebanon, and so they got 3 tickets 3 times in 3 different months
Well,
trying
but
to
let
come
me
back.
answer this. So you're going to try to rely on that to explain why they've been gone for a year?
No, I mean, this is why I'm calling, because I don't know what to
Yeah.
do.
No, but what I'm saying is, so when did they actually leave the United States?
February 9th of 2024,
Oh, dude. So now it's been over a year. Why didn't they come back before a year?
because they couldn't, because the airport was shut down. So
The
we
airport was
kept
shut down.
getting,
So
yeah. So
no one has flown out of Lebanon in the last year.
no, the only airlines was flying was one national airline,
Uh-huh.
and it was almost impossible to get a ticket. So I kept trying, and there's no other airports. It's only one airport in Lebanon, and most of the flights were kind of managed by like embassies trying to get their people out. So it
Yeah.
was very difficult.
Let me ask you this. So when did their green cards start?
In July 15 of 2023. That's the date.
So, and then did they live in America from July until February when they left?
Correct. Yeah. And then my father, he got a job for about 4 months. He paid the taxes before he left on 2024.
Mhm.
My mom was also able to get a job for like a couple of weeks from end of or middle of January up till February when they left. So we didn't know what to do. And they, as parents for them, they were kind of freaking out for their son being by himself.
Sure. So what's your question for me?
So is there any way they can apply for like through the embassy, or should they just try to get a ticket and come back and see what happens?
That's what I would do.
Okay. Well, do you think that they have based on the explanation, if we show them the tickets and the attempts to leave, and
I would bring everything I can to show that I tried to comply with the terms of my green card. It'll be up to the discretion of the officer. They can put them back on a plane. They can just flat out let them in, or they can let them in and put them in removal. So any of those things are possible.
okay? And one quick question for their son, who's now, so they filed an I-130 for him when they were here. It was
Yeah.
approved in about 4 months, but I think he's gonna age out because now he's gonna be 21 this year,
Yeah.
towards like December or November.
Is the
So
I-130 still pending?
no, it was approved in 4 months. So they filed
Okay.
in August and it was approved in December of
Okay.
2023.
So he'll probably age out 4 months after he turns 21.
Yeah. So there's nothing. Just he will just go into a different category, correct?
He'll drop into F2B. That's right.
Okay. Yeah, this just was my question. I wasn't sure if you have any recommendation about. I mean, obviously for them to come back the sooner the better.
Come back yesterday.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's. I just wanted to ask you this question.
All right. Good luck.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your help.
Okay. Bye-bye. This is the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, where I am now, San Diego, California, where inshallah I'll be going later on today, and Washington, D.C., where I'll be going in April, right after Ramadan. We'll be in D.C. How about that? Hope you all are having a good week. I'm going to turn it over to Cyber Lionheart. He's been trying to get in. Hello.
Hi, Jim. Thank you so much. And thanks for all your assistance. I'm a victim of marriage fraud. And my ex basically left the country and I got the marriage annulled. She came back without my knowledge a year after she left. And she started a domestic violence incident with me. Upon doing so, I think she obtained the VAWA visa, that's how I came across your videos. And I wanted to know what I can do as a U.S. citizen at this point, since she's obtained the visa. It feels like there's nothing, and you're my only solution.
So, this person that you married, did you do it through consular processing or did they adjust their status?
So it was a K-1 fiance visa, which was under 2 years, and then I annulled it within,
Wait, hold on.
6 months.
So you filed a fiance case, an I-129F. It got approved by USCIS, and then she came to the United States?
That's correct. We got married within a month.
Okay.
And within 4 months.
When did you get married?
July of 2012.
2012.
2012, yes. This is a long time back. And okay. I still want to just give you the details.
Let me ask questions, okay? It's a lot better.
Yes.
Take a deep breath. So you filed. So after you get married, you guys file for a 485 and it got approved?
Yes, sir.
When did the 485 get approved?
I would say within a month or two of getting married.
So really fast?
Yes.
So do you know like the start date or start month and year of her green card?
I do not know, since it was dating back, but within 4 months of this, she left the country.
Hold on. I want to get to all that. But I need to nail down the timeline.
Sure.
So she got her green card approximately when?
I can't. I don't have that knowledge.
Okay, so 2015, 2012, 2013, somewhere in there?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. All right. So then at some point, you would have been married less than 2 years. Mm-hmm. You would have had to file an I-751 petition for removal of conditions. Did you guys file that together?
No.
So, okay. So as far as you know, the last you know of her immigration status is that at least that you were involved in was her getting the 2-year green card, and then she started all of her funny business. Is that right?
Correct. Exactly.
Okay. So when did she start her funny business?
Okay. Within 4 months, she left back to Pakistan in November 2012. She called and said she would never come back. She came back in November 2013 without my knowledge.
With her green card?
With her green card. Now, in the meantime, submitted back her documents to USCIS and said my marriage was annulled.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
No.
You're still on the hook until she becomes a citizen.
Correct.
Okay. So why do you say you're a victim of marriage fraud? I know that's a loaded question, but
it is. So when she came back, she started a domestic violence incident when she learned the marriage was annulled.
Okay. But okay. I mean, are you saying that she never should have gotten the green card, or you're saying that she did a bunch of shit after to make sure she got a 10-year green card?
Yeah. Well, she should have never got it in my understanding.
Why?
Because I annulled the marriage. But like you said, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, the annulment doesn't mean anything. I mean, you did the annulment after she got the green card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So that's no legal effect.
Yes.
Okay. So when you say she did a VAWA claim on you, what did she do? She came over to your house and started a fight and then called the police, or what?
Exactly what you said. And then she went to a domestic violence shelter at the YMCA, which she got a lawyer. She was trying to file a restraining order on me, which was not successful. She only got a civil stay away order. In addition to that, she had two other cases with me. She had one where she was converting the annulment to a divorce, right, in family court. And
Okay.
then the other part was the actual domestic violence thing, which was dropped to a municipal court locally, and she did not attend. So that case eventually was dismissed against me.
Okay. So I'm very sorry that this all happened to you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your help, and that's how I found you.
So as we sit here today, she's probably a U.S. citizen.
Correct.
And you've had no contact with her for a few years?
Since that incident.
Which was when?
2014.
So that was 10 years ago, my brother.
Yes.
Why are you worrying about her immigration status when it's most likely she's already a U.S. citizen?
Because I see that there's changes in the immigration system now.
Oh, because Trump's here. That's what you mean.
I see that there's a crackdown on VAWA going forward. However, like you said, going backwards, I don't know if there's any checks or balances when it comes to the previous cases that have happened.
So here's what I'll say, and this is Uncle Jim talking, not Jim the immigration lawyer talking, okay?
Okay.
I believe that most people head into the future facing the wrong direction. And what I mean by that is they spend all their time thinking about all the wrongs that befell them over their life, right? So we're 10 years past, brother. She's been living in your head rent-free for 10 years.
Yeah.
I would much rather hear you talking about, Jim, I really had a bad experience with this lady, and she's terrible and a scammer, and I never did any of the horrible things that she accused me of. But Jim, guess what? I'm in love. I've got a new person in my life. I'm moving forward, right? I think you've got to let this go. I think immigration, I would never help you mess with somebody's immigration status, and I sure as hell wouldn't do it because Trump's here. Like we just don't do that. But on a human level, if you were my son, I would say, my son, I understand that she harmed you and hurt you and left you and said bad things about you. I understand all of that. But I honestly believe, as a Muslim and as a human who's been on this planet for 54 years, that everything happens for a reason, and we can choose to let other things rule our lives. I don't know how long you've watched the show, but when I was 8 years old, I got molested by a priest, right? And like in my mind, that's like literally the worst thing that could happen to me or to someone, right? And so I spent 10 years in therapy, more than 10 years, but 10 years with one therapist working on nothing but that. Like, how am I going to get past that? And I would think there were times where I thought I will never get past this. But where I'm at now is, I'm future looking, I'm future pacing, I'm looking at ways I can help people. I'm looking for ways that I can defend the victims of the world like me against big bullies like the Catholic Church or like USCIS. But you've got a whole life ahead of you. For sure. And if you let this poison stick in your stomach, you're never going to get past this. So I would, with every bone in my body, beg you to sort of move on and think about your next adventure.
Yes. And Jim, thank you so much. I'll do duo for you and your firm. Thank you so much.
Good luck, my brother.
Thank you.
All right. On that happy note, we're going to move on. We are going to move on. I hope I got through to him. I think it's terrible the way some people abuse our immigration systems. I don't know if she would have a similar story as to his story, but everybody's entitled to speak their truth, and I'm glad to hear it. But really gotta figure out I tell my kids all the time, you only got one chance. You only got one chance on this planet, and it's short. It's really short. And so I'm going to do everything I can to help as many people as possible. And to me, that's the victory over the evildoers. Doing the best you can with what you got is the way that we beat back evil. That's why I have so much fun fighting with Trump and his minions. I hope you guys all have a great day. Tomorrow, I'll probably be not doing a show. We might do a show, we might not. Hina, don't set it up yet. I'm traveling. I might just take it easy. We'll just have to see what it is. And as my good friend, the Yardy Donna says, the word is love. The word is love. Peace out, everybody. I'll see you guys next time, either tomorrow or Tuesday, because I'm on vacation for a couple days. See you, everybody. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are